Welcome to Stories Junction. Let's get started with today's story. Megan and I had been married 8 years. Not the loud, cinematic kind of love, just a steady hum you could set your watch to. She'd leave the porch light on if I worked late. I'd always refill her water glass before bed. We didn't need grand gestures, we had rhythm. Quiet, reliable hours. Then March arrived like a slow leak that IT started small. Her phone migrated from the nightstand to her palm, thumb flicking even while we ate. Client emergencies, she'd say, eyes on the screen. Suddenly every week had a critical deadline that kept her at the office until 10, 11, sometimes midnight. She started showering the second she walked in the door, like she was washing off more than downtown traffic that I noticed. I just didn't speak that I kept a mental ledger instead. The new passcode she claimed was company policy, the way she angled her laptop away from me, the perfume that wasn't the one I'd bought her for Christmas. One Wednesday I left work at 4 without telling anyone. Picked up ribeyes, asparagus, that bottle of Malbec she used to call our celebration wine. Figured maybe a real dinner, no Netflix, no phones, might remind us who we were before the distance crept in. I pulled into the driveway at 5:27. Her SUV was already there. The house felt too still. No music drifting from the kitchen, no murmur of a podcast. Just the low hum of the fridge and the faint scent of her new perfume hanging in the air like evidence. She was at the sink, back to me, phone in one hand, texting fast. She startled when the door clicked shut. "Tyler? You're early." Her voice pitched higher than usual. She shoved the phone into her pocket like it burned. "Brought dinner," I said, holding up the bags. "Thought we could eat like humans tonight." Her smile arrived late and never reached her eyes. "That's really sweet." We sat at 6:15. I poured the wine. She barely sipped. Conversation limped along, weather, my commute, her boss's new obsession with stand-up meetings. Every question I asked got a 2-word answer. She checked her watch twice, excused herself to the bathroom once, phone in hand, of course. By the time I cleared the plates, I knew. She offered to wash dishes, which she hadn't done willingly since 2019. I let her. Sat at the island with the last of the wine and watched her scrub the same pan 3 times. Her phone sat face up by the faucet. It lit. "Still can't stop thinking about this morning. You're addictive." She saw it the same second I did. Her whole body locked. Then, casual as flipping a towel, she swiped the notification away. She never knew I read it. I finished my wine, expression blank. Said nothing. That was the exact moment the marriage ended, not when she slept with him, but when she decided I was too polite to notice. She turned around, drying her hands, voice bright and brittle. "Want to watch something?" "Sure." We sat on the couch. She picked one of her comfort shows, the kind with canned laughter and 0 stakes. She laughed on cue, even tucked her feet under my thigh like old times. I didn't move. Later, while she brushed her teeth, I stared at her lock screen. New passcode. New wallpaper, just a generic beach sunset instead of the photo of us in Iceland. That I set the phone down exactly where she left it. I went to bed first. Lay on my back in the dark, counting heartbeats instead of sheep. She came in 10 minutes later, hesitated in the doorway. "Ty, can we talk?" I didn't move. "Yeah." She leaned against the frame, arms crossed tight. "I slept with someone from work." Just like that. Flat. No tears, no trembling lip. Like she was telling me we were out of milk. That I let the silence stretch until it hurt. Then I said, "Good for you." She blinked. Waited for the explosion that never came. "That's it," she whispered. "Sounds like you've got it all figured out," I said, and for the first time in 8 years, I turned my back on her in bed. Tomorrow everything would burn. But tonight, I just needed her to lie awake wondering why I wasn't breaking. She didn't sleep. I felt her shift every 20 minutes, the mattress dipping like a confession she couldn't quite voice. Around 3 a.m., she whispered my name into the dark. I pretended I was already gone. At 6:12 my alarm went off. I showered, dressed, made coffee like it was any other Thursday. She was at the kitchen island in yesterday's clothes, eyes puffy, clutching a mug she wasn't drinking from. "Tyler, please. Talk to me." I poured my coffee black. "You said everything last night." I didn't mean for it to happen. It was one time. Maybe twice. I don't even, stop. I cut her off, calm enough that she flinched. "Don't give me the inventory. I don't need the body count." She started crying then. Quiet, efficient tears, the kind she used to save for sad commercials. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost I left without finishing the coffee. That I didn't go to work. Instead I drove to the Marriott near the airport, paid cash for 2 nights, and sat on the edge of the bed staring at my phone like it was a loaded gun. Then I started making calls. First was Jenna Brooks, old friend from law school, now the sharpest divorce attorney in Charlotte. She picked up on the first ring. Tyler Reed. You never call unless someone's dying or divorcing.
Which is it? Both, probably.
Can you meet today? Give me 2 hours. Second call was to the shared iCloud account we set up in 2017 and apparently forgot to kill. Megan still used it for photos. I logged in from the hotel Wi-Fi and watched the little sync wheel spin like a slot machine. Jackpot, a hidden folder labeled miscellaneous inside, 32 screenshots of conversations with a contact saved as J Creative. Heart emojis, inside jokes, a dick pic I didn't need to see for confirmation, and a string from Tuesday night that ended with him typing, "Leave your ring at home tomorrow, I want you bare." That I downloaded everything to an encrypted drive. Twice. Then I went hunting. His full name took 4 minutes, Jordan Whitaker, Senior Art Director, same firm, same floor. LinkedIn told me he'd been promoted last quarter. His fiancée's Instagram was public, Sarah Grace Interiors, 28.4K followers, engagement photos in Savannah, ring the size of a marble. Caption, "Forever starts with you." I screenshotted the happiest picture of them, her laughing, him kissing her temple, and attached the entire thread of Megan's betrayal. Message composed, "Sarah, you don't know me. I'm the husband of the woman in these messages. I thought you deserved the same honesty I just got served. No drama requested. Just truth that I scheduled it for 8 a.m. tomorrow." Then I shut the laptop and stared at the ceiling until Jenna knocked. She walked in wearing a navy suit sharp enough to draw blood, dropped her bag and said, "Start talking. And don't waste my time with feelings. Give me facts and leverage." So I did. When I finished, she smiled the way great whites do. North Carolina's an at-fault state, their company has a zero-tolerance fraternization clause for same team members, and you have receipts. Tyler, baby, this isn't a divorce. This is a massacre with paperwork. I didn't smile back. I don't want her destroyed. I want her to feel the exact weight of what she threw away. Jenna tapped her pen against her lip. Same thing, different font. Trust me. By the time I left her office, the first domino was already falling. At 8:03 a.m. the next day, Sarah replied with a single line, "Thank you. Wedding's off. He's all yours now." That I didn't answer, that I just forwarded it to Jenna with 2 words, "Begin." 4 days after I moved into the Marriott, I texted Megan.me, "Can we talk? Face to face. No lawyers yet. Just us." Megan, "Yes. God, yes. When? Me, tonight. I'll bring dinner." 7. She sent back a string of heart emojis like punctuation could fix hemorrhage. That I showed up at 7:02 with 2 bags from the Thai place we used to call our spot, before it became her excuse to be late. She opened the door wearing the soft gray sweater I bought her on our last good anniversary, hair curled the way she knows I used to lose my mind over. Makeup perfect. Like armor. "Hi," she said, voice small, hopeful. That I stepped inside and the house smelled exactly the same. That almost undid me. Almost. "You look nice," I said, flat as pavement. She tried a smile. I wanted tonight to feel normal. Normal. Cute. We sat on the couch with the curtains between us like a border. She kept trying to catch my eyes, I kept letting her fail. She picked at her pad ki mao, then set the fork down. "I ended it with Jordan," she blurted. "That same night you left. It's over. I swear." I nodded once, chewed, swallowed. "Good to know. That's all you have to say?" "Pretty much." She started crying again, louder this time, theatrical. "I'm trying, Tyler. I'm trying to fix this." I wiped my mouth, set the napkin down like I was folding a flag. "You don't fix this, Megan. You survive it." Her face crumpled. "Please don't give up on us." I leaned forward, elbows on knees, voice low and steady. "This morning I emailed your HR department from an anonymous address. Attached 8 screenshots, dates, times, the fraternization clause highlighted in yellow. I was polite. Just a concerned citizen doing the right thing." She went white so fast I thought she'd pass out. "You what?" Then I called Jordan's fiancée back. Sarah wanted details for her own lawyer. I gave them to her. She's keeping the ring, by the way. Non-refundable. Megan's mouth opened, closed, opened again. No sound. "I didn't do any of it to hurt you," I said. "I did it because secrets are heavy and I'm done carrying yours." She stood up fast, knocking over a carton. Noodles everywhere. "You're trying to destroy me." "No," I said, still seated, still calm. "I'm removing myself from the blast radius. There's a difference." She stared at me like she was seeing a stranger wearing her husband's skin.
Good.
That made two of us. I stood, picked up my keys. I'll have Jenna send over the proposed settlement next week. You'll want to read it carefully. She grabbed my arm as I walked past.
Tyler, please.
I'm begging you. I looked down at her hand, then at her. You begged the wrong man for mercy, I said. You should have started with me 8 months ago. I left her standing in spilled curry and the ruins of every lie she thought I'd eat forever. Outside, the night smelled like rain coming. I breathed it in like a man who just crawled out of a burning building. 2 lives torched in under 10 minutes.
Felt about right.
10 days later we sat in a beige conference room that smelled like burnt coffee and surrender. Megan walked in first, blazer buttoned too tight, hair in the severe ponytail she wore when she was trying to look untouchable. Dark circles under the eyes she couldn't quite hide with concealer. Jordan wasn't with her. He'd been walked out of the building the week before with a cardboard box and a security escort. Rumor was he'd already moved back to his parents' place in Raleigh. Sarah kept the dog too. Her attorney, some guy named Lang, tried to look bored. Jenna looked like she was at a birthday party and the cake was about to be served. The mediator, a soft-spoken woman named Ruth, started with the usual script: this is about resolution, not blame. Megan couldn't hold it in 30 seconds. He sabotaged my career, she said, voice cracking. He sent private messages to HR, to my coworker's fiancé. He wanted to punish me.
Ruth turned to me. Mr. Reed.
I slid a thin folder across the table. Everything I sent is in here.
Time-stamped, unedited.
Their employee handbook is tab 2, page 14. Romantic relationships between team members assigned to the same client are grounds for immediate termination or reassignment. I didn't write the rule. I just quoted it. Lang opened his mouth. Jenna spoke first, quiet and lethal. My client could have sued for alienation of affection. North Carolina still allows it.
He chose not to. You're welcome.
Megan stared at the folder like it might bite her. Ruth cleared her throat. Let's move to assets. There weren't many to fight over. We'd bought the house at the peak of the market. It was underwater. Savings were modest.
Retirement accounts clean.
The only real disagreement was who kept the dog.
Megan wanted Luna.
I'd already bought a new condo that didn't allow pets over 30 pounds. Luna was 42. I signed her over without a word. Megan's pen hovered above the line.
That's it?
You're just giving me the dog. You wanted something that still loved you unconditionally, I said.
Take her.
Her hand shook so hard the ink bled. Halfway through she tried one last time. I know I broke us, she whispered, like the room couldn't hear. But did you have to break me too? I met her eyes for the first time all morning. You broke you the moment you decided my silence meant I was stupid. Everything after that was just gravity. Ruth stamped the agreement.
You're done.
Divorce will be final in 60 days. Megan stood, gathered her copies with trembling fingers, and walked out without looking back. Jenna waited until the door clicked shut. You okay? I exhaled for what felt like the first time in months.
Getting there.
Outside, the sky had opened up. Charlotte summer rain, hard and sudden. I stood under the awning and let it soak the shoulders of my jacket. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel hollow. I just felt light. 63 days later the judge's stamp made it official. No courtroom, no dramatic gavel, just an email with a PDF attached. Tyler Reed and Megan Reed were now two separate people again. I moved into a loft above a brewery in Noda. High ceilings, brick walls, no ghosts in the corners. Luna stayed with Megan. The new place had a strict no-shedding clause.
I bought a cactus instead. Named it Kevin.
Kevin and I got along fine. Megan texted for weeks. First apologies, then memories, then anger, then silence. I never replied. Silence was the only language I had left for her. Then one Thursday in late October, an envelope slid under my door. No return address, just my name in her handwriting I'd once known better than my own. Inside, a single page. Tyler, I took the transfer to Denver. New city, new job, new everything. I thought distance would make the shame quieter.
It didn't.
It just made the echo longer. Did I keep replaying that night on the couch? The Thai food, the way you looked at me like I was already a stranger. I wanted you to scream, to fight, to give me something I could push against. Your calm was worse than any fist. You didn't ruin me. I did that all on my own the first time I let him touch me while your ring was still on my finger. That I don't expect anything from you. Not forgiveness, not even hate. I just needed to say it once without an audience or an agenda. I'm sorry.
Not the small, pretty kind.
The ugly, permanent kind that lives in your bones. You deserved a wife who chose you every single day. I stopped choosing you somewhere along the way and convinced myself it didn't count if I never said it out loud. Take care of yourself, Ty. Find someone who never makes you question whether love should feel like evidenced. Am I read it twice?
Folded it once.
Slid it into the cactus pot like fertilizer Kevin didn't ask for. That night I walked to the roof with a beer and watched the skyline blink awake. The air smelled like fallen leaves and possibility. For the first time in almost a year, I didn't brace for the next text, the next lie, the next ache. People ask if I miss her. Did I miss the version of us that existed before she decided honesty was optional? I don't miss the woman who stood in our kitchen and thought I'm being honest now, erased everything that came before it. Truth isn't a reset button.
It's a door.
She opened it expecting me to walk through and save her from the other side. I just stepped through alone and locked it behind me. Some nights I still hear the click of that lock. It doesn't sound like cruelty. It sounds like the first breath after drowning. And that's the whole story. Thanks for walking it with me.